The electrical engineering and production industry itself has exploded over the years. From cars to smart homes, our lives are now easier than ever thanks to electrical engineering, and now there are all sorts of trends that are almost impossible to keep up with. Here are a few electrical trends that have exploded over the years. Producing electricity in our homes? While you'd commonly think of electricity as coming from an expensive, high-tech power plant, it's now easier than ever to actually produce enough electricity to power your home off the grid 24/7. Most residential energy production sources are also renewable, which means you'd be doing a favor to not just your wallet, but also the environment. The reason why residential energy production has absolutely exploded over the past few years is mainly due to the increasing energy demand and the fact that governments haven't been able to keep up with this growing demand, making electricity far more expensive. The sales of solar panels for residential homes in the United States is set to grow from 3 million in 2021 to over 4 million in 2023. Solar panels are getting much cheaper, and on top of that, battery storage for electricity has gotten cheaper and more efficient as well. Some regions in the United States have achieved grid parity, which means that using home-produced energy is as cheap or cheaper than getting electricity from conventional sources. Are we actually using less electricity? As we've mentioned already, the demand for electricity has grown to never-before-seen heights, and overall, humans are using more electricity than ever before. But we're using electricity a lot more efficiently. Products that normally use up a lot of electricity may barely leave a mark on your monthly utility bill. In a normal scenario, up to 75% of your home's electricity is used when the lights are switched off, a phenomenon that's known as phantom load. However, now there are products known as smart power strips that automatically shut off electronics whenever they're not in use. The average customer saves up to $200 a year using them. Outside of that, many products that you can buy nowadays come with their own power conservation features. These include refrigerators, microwaves, TVs, and air conditioners. While you generally use more electrical products than ever before, the cost per product has been reduced drastically over the years. One of the best examples of this trend would have to be the growing popularity of LEDs over traditional light bulbs. LEDs can last up to 25 times longer than traditional light bulbs, but use up to 80% less electricity. There are also fewer safety risks when it comes to LED bulbs. They aren't a fire hazard and don't tend to explode. Will we be able to achieve smart cities? One of the most ambitious trends in recent years that has caught the attention of a lot of city governments is the concept of a smart city. Smart city is actually quite a vague term, and some may argue that we already have a few smart cities here and there. But as far as the ideal smart city is concerned, there's not a single example of one existing just yet. So what is a smart city? Well, a smart city uses all sorts of different electronic methods to essentially run the city. This would mean the primary administrator of the city wouldn't really be humans, or rather highly intelligent machines. We know what you're thinking, this sounds like RoboCop, but with the pace that artificial intelligence has been growing at, this might just be the future of all cities in the industrialized world. Smart cities constantly collect data about the residents, and all the homes in a smart city are on the grid, not just an electrical grid, but rather an entire system that detects whenever a house needs repairs, an area needs security, a road needs fixing, a lawn needs mowing, and so many other things. Some of the leading cities when it comes to smart cities are Dubai, Shanghai, Taipei, Tokyo, and many other cities across Asia and Europe. There are also a lot of concerns when it comes to smart cities, especially regarding the constant surveillance of its citizens. We'll just have to wait and see how they turn out. 5G, is it catching on? While the transition from 2G to 3G to 4G happened relatively without hiccups, the transition from 4G to 5G has not been smooth in any way. This has less to do with the technology itself and more to do with global geopolitics. 5G technology can yield speeds of up to 10 gigs per second, making it faster than 99% of all internet devices in use right now. However, the adoption of 5G technology has been slow to say the least. China is heavily involved in the global wireless 5G network, which has led its geopolitical rivals, namely the US and the EU, to restrict 5G access to their respective countries. The Five Eyes International Intelligence Alliance, that consists of the US, the UK, Canada, Australia, and Canada, have declared 5G as a significant security risk and are each coming up with their own plan to adopt the new technology. Outside of that, 5G has also been a victim of some fringe conspiracy theorists who argue that the so-called waves produced by 5G can pose a significant health risk. Of course, there are absolutely no scientific studies that come even close to the conclusion reached reached by these theorists, but it has still only further increased the hesitancy of different countries to adopt 5G technology overall. Overall, as the dust settles, 5G technology is sure to become more popular over time, and the theories and concerns will eventually die down. Are EVs the future? It wasn't too long ago that electrical vehicles were mostly seen as a joke, and the prospect of them actually replacing traditional gas-powered vehicles was almost unthinkable. But there was always an indication that they would do it over time, but no one could have thought of how fast they'd do it. Ever since Tesla came into the picture with the Model S, a sports car that's entirely electric, the landscape of the automobile industry changed forever. Hybrid vehicles lost their appeal, and people were now looking for ways to say goodbye to gasoline for good. By now, almost every major automaker in the world has come up with their own flagship EV, and Tesla, a company that focuses solely on electric vehicles, has also recently surpassed Toyota as the world's most valuable automaker. Electric vehicles now make up the majority of car sales in countries like Norway, and the sales are catching up in other countries like Canada and the United States. EVs are generally more expensive than their gas-powered counterparts, but have much lower running costs and are getting cheaper to make with time. Adoption of EVs are generally been the lowest in developing countries where people simply can't afford the high buying price of these vehicles. What are smart grid technologies? Smart grids are some of the most remarkable trends that we've seen over these past few years, and they might just change the way that countries and cities see electricity forever. Smart grids are radically different from your regular power grid. A normal power grid would be powered by a few large power plants that mainly consist of coal, oil, or gas as power sources. They're usually highly centralized, and many states, provinces, and even entire countries tend to have just one state or national grid. Traditional grids also rely on huge transmission lines, and the flow of electricity is entirely top to bottom, from the power plants to the home. Smart grids, on the other hand, use many different small and renewable power plants instead a few large ones. They're entirely decentralized and consist of countless different grids instead of just one large grid. This reduces transmission costs and allows regional supply compensation. Finally, they also make use of residential energy production, where homes send power back to the grid instead of wasting it, making it an entire system that goes both ways, instead of a top-down system. Smart grids, if effectively enforced, could even make electricity free for a region's residents. If not free, they'll likely only cost a fraction of what regular grids cost. There are a few problems with this system, and it mainly has to do with the inequality of the grids. Lower income areas will likely have less advanced grids than their richer counterparts, but with the right amount of government intervention, these can change our cities forever. If you're already an electrician running your own business or just about to start and grow your own electrical business, you must learn the 4 critical things electrical business owners wish they had learned before starting an electrical business so you don't make the same mistakes. The Electrician Accelerator has put together a free training video you can watch for free right now that'll show you exactly how to start, grow, and build your electrical business the right way so you can consistently guarantee profitable work, free up your time, all whilst reducing stress levels and allowing you to have sustainable and more profitable business that works for you. In this free training video, you'll also learn how to generate a steady stream of jobs on demand and with predictability month after month in your local area without relying on word of mouth and referrals, how to stop competing on price with other electricians and escape your competition, how to convert at least 90% of your quotes and estimates into sales, how to command premium prices and attract high-quality customers that will be happy to pay more. Click on the link on the description below the video. That's a wrap for this video. If you enjoyed it, make sure to leave a like and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this one.